Hi, and welcome to this educational video, Introduction to Inventory Adjustments. In this video, you will learn about the common practices and terms associated with adjustments, physical inventory, cycle counts, stock on hand, and researching the causes of an inventory adjustment. This video is presented by Trident Edge Consulting, where it is our mission to provide thoughtful instruction, tips, and guidance on healthcare supply chain topics to passionate supply chain professionals just like you. Inventory adjustments are corrections made by the inventory manager or an inventory specialist to the inventory stock on hand records that are intended to bring the system quantity into agreement with physical quantity on the shelf. These adjustments can be increases or decreases and are used to resolve mistakes that occur when handling materials, as well as to remove an item from stock due to damage, expiration, or recall. Most hospital finance departments pay close attention to adjustments. This is because inventory is a financial asset to the hospital. Too many adjustments may indicate too many errors in the handling of supplies, and this can be a cause for the financial leadership team to engage auditors to assess the inventory management operation. As you can imagine, the inventory team typically prides themselves on having a low number of adjustments as well as a low dollar value. Inventory adjustments are an important part of inventory management. In most organizations, adjustments are tightly controlled, and only the inventory manager or perhaps 1 to 2 other staff members are allowed to process adjustments. This ensures that the proper level of due diligence and research is completed before adjusting inventory levels, plus informs the manager of possible process and/or data issues. Even if you are not in a position where you will process adjustments, it is important that you understand the purpose of the transaction and the importance of the research that occurs whenever system inventory quantities do not match the physical quantity on the shelf. Stock on hand is the total amount of any given item that you currently have in your warehouse or storeroom, regardless of whether it is available for use. This includes unallocated as well as allocated stock. This is the same as hearing the quantity of an item or how much of an item is on hand. Usually, the stock on hand is determined by what is stated in the inventory storage system used by the hospital. There are two types of adjustments, manual and system generated. A manual adjustment refers to adjustments that are made after an inventory worker reports product expiration, product damage, or an inventory discrepancy to their supervisor. This is performed by the inventory supervisor or the allowed staff members directly into the inventory management system. Typically, manual adjustments are performed by a sole individual and do not require mass counting or adjustments. Performing manual adjustments does not require a series of actions to be performed on a computer. When an adjustment is required, it is initiated with a single transaction. A system-generated adjustment refers to adjustments that are made as part of a physical inventory event or cycle count event. This is generated by the inventory management system, where a series of actions may be required on a computer. This may take longer to perform, unlike manual adjustments. The counts are then re-entered into the inventory management system to update quantities. We will discuss both types of adjustments in the next few slides. The first type of adjustment that we will cover is the manual adjustment. Manual adjustments are triggered when a worker discovers a problem with existing inventory and notifies their supervisor or individual designated to manage adjustment requests. The types of problems that are reported can include expired products, damaged products, and products where the system quantity does not match the physical quantity. The supervisor or other designated individual will act as follows. For damaged and expired products, they will simply confirm the situation, ensure the damaged or expired products are physically removed from the shelf, and process the adjustment in the inventory system. For products where the system and physical quantities do not match, they will perform a more rigorous level of research before determining whether an adjustment should be processed in the inventory software. The next two slides describe the research that is typically performed. Research is an important aspect for determining the discrepancy of the physical counts and the stock on hand. You do not want to let mysteries go unsolved as to why your counts are not matching up. Your role may not require you to research the cause of an inventory discrepancy, but if you are part of the material handling process, then you may be asked to partake.
Remember, inventory professionals pride themselves on having minimal inventory adjustments, so researching the causes of miscounts is an important task. There are different possibilities for why the physical quantities do not match the system quantities. These include the item may have been counted inaccurately, there may be unprocessed paperwork for direct issues, pick list, receipts, etc. The quantity of an item was picked wrong, wrong item was picked, the item was not put away in the correct location, or the item was received in the system but did not physically come in or was not put away. Be sure to do some investigation. Some common steps include recounting the item, look for missing items on adjoining shelves and on shelves across the aisle, inspect unprocessed transactions such as pick lists and direct issues, inspect the receiving area for items received but not put away, inspect packing slips to verify the quantity received matches the paperwork. There are many different reasons as to why inventory quantities may be off, so be thorough in your investigation. Once the reason for an inventory discrepancy is known, the person researching will have a clear idea of how to resolve the discrepancy. In some situations, the resolution is to process unprocessed paperwork or fix mistakes on previous transactions. In other situations, the only corrective action is to process an adjustment. It is also good practice for inventory managers to record the root cause associated with inventory discrepancies in a log or Excel file whenever you uncover the cause. Collecting this information and reviewing it regularly will enable inventory managers to isolate recurring process and system issues. Understanding these trends empowers inventory managers to prioritize process and system optimizations, reducing the number of inventory discrepancies in the future.
The second type of adjustment is a system-generated adjustment. System-generated adjustments are triggered when an organization performs a physical inventory or cycle count process within their inventory software, and the person counting the products enters a count quantity that differs from the system quantity. The person responsible for overseeing the physical inventory or cycle count event has responsibility for ensuring adequate recounting and/or research is performed as described in the following two slides. For any products where the system quantity is confirmed to differ from the physical quantity, the new count quantity will be approved and the system will automatically create an adjustment transaction that adjusts the system quantity to match the new quantity on hand. Physical inventory is an actual count of all items within a warehouse or storeroom. Physical inventories are typically performed once or twice a year to measure the accuracy of the inventory counts and to also correct any discrepancies between the count of items in a location and what is listed in the inventory management system. This involves touching, counting, and recording the quantities of every item for an entire area. These areas could be the storeroom, warehouse, or even an OR case cart room. One key purpose of a physical inventory is to evaluate inventory accuracy and performance. Another key purpose of a physical inventory is for the benefit of the hospital's finance records, ensuring that the finance managers will be able to report the most accurate dollar amount for inventory supplies. As a result, physical inventories are often performed near the end of a fiscal year. In the case of a physical inventory, the decision to accept the new count quantities must be made without considering unprocessed transactions or any prior transactions that were improperly recorded. In other words, the only research allowed during a physical inventory is to recount the product to ensure there was not a counting error and to look for product that may be stored in the wrong bin location. These restrictions are necessary during a physical inventory because it is the only way to accurately assess inventory accuracy and performance of the existing inventory processes. Cycle counting is a method of checks and balances by which the inventory team will physically count a small sample of different items daily and record any adjustments that need to be made. The general idea is that if you perform daily cycle counts, then your whole inventory will be counted within a certain time frame, such as 6 or 12 months. In the case of cycle counts, each organization sets their own guidelines for what research is allowed before accepting the new count quantities. At some organizations, the cycle count process is treated like a physical inventory, and the only research allowed is recounting and searching for lost products so that they can be included in the counts. At other organizations, the cycle count is more of an operational check and balance that is used to identify the root causes of inventory discrepancies so that process improvements can be made to prevent future discrepancies. In this type of environment, the research performed on cycle count discrepancies follows the entire list of research that is performed during manual adjustments as discussed previously in this course. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. We certainly hope that you picked up some practical knowledge today and that you have a stronger understanding of the purpose of inventory adjustments and the processes that are typically used for manual and system generated adjustments in a hospital, storeroom, or warehouse. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe so we know that you specifically would like to see more of this type of content.